Hello everybody, Trackside Productions here, and welcome back to another video. I am going to be talking about a very obscure toy line, so let's get into it. Now, for those who don't know the toy line I'm talking about, Mashems are little squishy rubber toys that are basically just like stress balls in a sense. They're made by Tex for Toys and were made for many different properties, and Tom's is one of them. In, I think, early 2014 or 2015, Mashem started making stuff for Thomas Tank Engine, and that's what we're talking about today. They made 6 characters total for this lineup, which were Thomas, Percy, James, Gordon, Toby, and Sir Topham Hatt. Honestly, not bad of a lineup for the Mashems line, and honestly, they're pretty good for what they have. But there are some pros and cons. Series 1 only had the standard colors of Thomas, Percy, James, Gordon, and Toby, as well as the Topham Hatt. The pros to this were that the face molds really looked accurate to the show, and that's really all I can say for the pros. The cons are that they don't have good longevity. What I mean by this is that after squeezing it for a little bit, they have a chance of popping, like a bubble. But that's not really good if you want to have a good squishy toy. But I can understand, because Mashems aren't really made for longevity in mind. They're just meant to be like little squish toys. But I would think that the Mashems team would want to make more sustainable squishy toys. But I don't really mind. But there are 2 characters that I love in this line, actually 3, and those 3 being the Farquhar trio. Thomas, Percy, and Toby are personal favorites of mine. Toby from a design standpoint, because, you know, he's just a little brown square squishy rubber ball. How could you not love this little guy? He's so adorable. He's a little guy. He's such a little guy. Percy's also one that I like because, you know, since he's a 4-wheel engine and all the engines had 4 wheels in their depiction in the Mashems lineup, it really makes Percy one of the better engines in the lineup to actually get like an accurate Mashems look to them. And Thomas was also a favorite of mine because he's actually the only Mashems model that I ever owned. The only Mashems rubber little squishy model that I owned, because, you know, Thomas fan. But I would show a picture of my Mashems Thomas, but he popped. I squished him too much and he popped. So, yeah, we don't have really any remains of him. But I feel another con with the Mashems line of Thomas little squishies is that, well, they were just one solid color, which, while yes, you can't expect like much of a quality, like big quality for Mashems. It's really it's the fact that the only parts that are separate colors from the main body are the smoke box, the roof, the number, and the front of the buffer beam, which, again, expected for Mashems, but it's really kind of sad. But then again, I can understand why they did it, because kids are going to be squishing this a lot, and the front, the top are going to be the only parts that are really going to be unaffected. The number is the thing that really confuses me on why they gave it a different color, but you win some, you lose some, I guess. Series 2 is pretty much the same exact thing as Series 1, but Series 2 has a difference in the fact that they're crystal variants of the engines, which kind of confuses me, because why would you just make a cosmetic difference version of the engines rather than introducing new characters? I feel like if they were to just keep with the 6 characters, they should have had Edward, Henry, Emily, and then 3 other engines, like probably Salty Diesel or Paxton, probably. I probably feel like they should have had like more character options for Series 2 rather than just keeping the same 6 engines, or actually 5 engines that they had. 5 engines that they had in Series 1. I feel like they should have had more. There was more potential for it, but The only thing that they changed with uh, the Series 2 stuff is, again, giving it more giving crystal variants, which are just translucent colors of their more dull colors that they had in Series 1, which is kind of confusing. But the Crystal Thomas was exclusive to a entire series set box that the Mashems team actually released. Honestly, yeah, it's a bit weird. It's elusive. It's elusive to say the very least. Overall, the toy line, Mashems is a pretty good toy line. It doesn't have longevity, but it did have a little bit of charming stuff to it that balanced it out. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. See you guys next time.